on YouTube, family? It's PSNID 2021 here with you to discuss the news about Roman Reigns failing the drug test, and he will be suspended for the next 30 days. Now, the news came out yesterday that, he failed the wellness policy drug test, and he, released a tweet that, he apologized to all his friends and family that he let everybody down. When this news initially came out, I was a little surprised. I mean, like most folks, and I kind of was a little bit hard on him. I kind of joked around a little bit, but they never really said what it was that he, took in order to fail the wellness policy. Now, ever since the whole incident, I think it was back in the 80s between Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon with the whole steroid scandal like that, they have kind of improved their wellness policy. We have a lot of superstars who's failed it. I mean, Randy Orton being one of them. Who's a multiple-time offender. This is Roman Reigns' first offense, so we don't really know what it was that he failed it for. We don't know if it was anything recreational or was it a performance-enhancing drug. We really don't know. Now, it kind of explains the whole situation as far as him losing the belt at Money in the Bank to Seth Rollins, because he was peeing clean. Like, I don't really remember the last time I've just seen Roman Reigns lose a match clean like that. It could be the first time, in a while. But, with that being said, that does explain that. And then, the following Raw, the following night on Raw, they announced the triple threat match at Battleground between pretty much the Shield members, the Dean Ambrose, who was the current champ, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And then, then yesterday they announced a suspension, which kind of got me thinking, okay, like, when did they really know about the violation? You see what I'm saying? Like, now it came out today that, according to some sources, they knew ahead of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that he had failed the drug test. So that's why they had them drop the title. And, but with that being said, if they knew full well that he was going to be suspended for 30 days, then why would you announce a triple threat match with him in it at Battleground? Now, the interesting thing about that is the fact that the 30 days end, like I think a couple of days before the Battleground pay-per-view. So he will miss pretty much all the Raws and SmackDown, and he won't even be available for the WWE draft on July the 19th. So if that's the case, then maybe they just said, forget it. We're going to suspend you for 30 days, but we still want you to compete in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match at Battleground. Now, in my opinion, they could have went a different direction. If they was going to suspend them, they could have just had like a storyline angle where they kind of just suspended him and just write him off television for a while. For a while until the pay-per-view came. Like I said, they're not going to be able to do that on SmackDown because the suspension already started. Now, there has been reports that he was dealing with a concussion at Money in the Bank, and he still wrestled. Now, if that was the case, then a lot more flack should kind of go towards the WWE officials' way, because if you knew he had a concussion, then you shouldn't have let him wrestle. I understand that's your World Heavyweight Champion, and he's pretty much billed as the guy. I hate using that word because that's what you say, but as far as like nobody's gonna top John Cena as far as WWE standards go, but they were building Roman Reigns up as the next head guy. So, I mean, with that being said, I understand. You still gotta have your championship match, and which is cool, it's great. But with all the issues of CTE and head trauma, I mean, as we all know, that was one of the contributing factors to Daniel Bryan retiring, not only with the neck issues, but the head issues as well. That's why he was never cleared to wrestle and come back. So if that's the case and y'all still let him go out there and wrestle while y'all knowingly knew he had a concussion, then that's more on the WWE's fault. But, also they were saying that, attendance level was down since he's been the champion. Like since he was a headliner of the quote-unquote A-list house shows and live events. And when you go over to Dean Ambrose side, who was headlining the B, quote-unquote B house shows, he was either drawing more or sometimes the same amount as Roman. And so they kind of figured that he wasn't drawing as much. That was one of the things that they was talking about as far as like, CM Punk when he was champion, that he wasn't quote-unquote the huge draw that people thought he was. But, I mean, it sucks in a way because of the timing was so wrong, because I think for the last couple of years, ever since the whole Shield breakup, we wanted to see all three of them go up against each other, in a title match, and we was finally getting that. And I mean, we very well might still get that, but as far as the momentum and not seeing all of them interact with each other, it kind of takes away from it a little bit. Now, I mean, as far as what's next, we really don't know. We're still, we're still getting details and things like that. But my personal opinion, I don't think it's gonna really hurt him as much. And I know, people might see like, well, why not? I mean, this is his first offense, and like I said, we don't know exactly what it was that he failed. Like I said, we don't know if it was a recreation use or anything like that. And I hope, if it was something like hardcore and heavy, like steroids or like cocaine or something like that, then yeah, he should definitely have a more severe punishment when he come back. As far as like, he's not gonna get thrown back. I don't really see him getting thrown in the mid card. I still think he's gonna be in the title picture and things like that, because he's pretty much Vince McMahon's project. And we all know Vince McMahon is a very stubborn dude. So, he's going to make him sit out the 30 days, and then he's going to be right back into it. Now, this not the same situation, but, Titus O'Neil was suspended. I mean, it wasn't for a wellness policy violation. He kind of got a little bit too friendly with Vince, the grabbing him of his arm. And he was suspended, I think it was like for 60 days, if I'm not mistaken, just for that. But when he ended up coming back, he ended up getting a United States title match, and he's in the United States title picture now. So, the suspension was harsh due to the situation, and it kind of got me thinking like, okay, well, he was suspended 60 days for kind of touching Vince, and, Roman Reigns failed, a drug test, and he only get 30 days, but that's a, different situation. But like I said, I don't really think it's going to hurt him. We got the whole WWE draft and the brand extension thing coming up, so I'm interested to see how they're going to do that. Me personally, I would like to see at least 2 of the Shield members on one show, and the other one on either or. Like let's say have Seth and Dean on one, and Roman on the other one with John Cena. Just kind of have them go at it. Like I said, we really don't know how this is going to affect them until Roman Reigns do come back. But with that being said, like I said, Roman Reigns has been suspended for 30 days. I'm pretty sure he will be at Battleground. The interesting thing is going to see how they're going to work this into television, because it's easier now to get information like this with the internet and different, sites like that and the whole IWC. So fans know why Roman Reigns will not be on TV. And if you think people was booing him before, this really legitimizes giving them a reason to boo him. Like, boom, okay, now we really got a reason to go ahead and boo you because you out there violating the wellness policy. So when he comes back, just go ahead and make him a full-blown heel. And the only reason why I say it is because like the arrogant, cocky Roman Reigns, that works better than, the trying to throw out catchphrases and things like that. Like, even in the match with Seth, it was more of a Roman being the cocky, arrogant heel, and Seth being more of the comeback face. So, like I said, leave in the comments, how do you feel about Roman being suspended for 30 days? Does this affect the title match at Battleground, or do they just go ahead and push that back to SummerSlam, so have probably Dean and Seth wrestle one-on-one at Battleground, and then have them all 3 at SummerSlam, since that is the quote-unquote biggest, event of the summer. So, like I said, leave in the comments, what do you feel about the situation? What do you want to see happen? Do you just want to go ahead and see Roman just come back as a full-blown heel and come back and just wreck shop? Do you want to see him get immediately thrust into the title picture? I mean, like I said, for one, I still want to see the Shield title match, so that will be great. I want to thank y'all for watching this video. Like, subscribe, share. Like I said, leave in the comments, how do you feel about the Roman suspension? I'm PSNID 21. I want to thank y'all for watching, and your fan bro is out. Peace.